Ivanka and Jared aren't in the government anymore, but they made their mark and caught our attention with these eye-opening facts we won't forget.
Donald Trump's daughter, Ivanka, solidified herself as a recognizable figure thanks to her dad's celebrity status years ago. But her husband has kept a much lower profile. From how she met the multi-millionaire businessman to where he really stands on politics, this is the truth about Jared Kushner. Before joining the White House as senior advisor to President Donald Trump, Jared Kushner was known for his family's Manhattan real estate business. His dad, Charles, established Kushner Companies in 1985, planning to go into business with his own father, Joe. But as the New Yorker reported, Joe died soon after, and Charles, bereft and left to lead the company alone, expanded his father's business model. Kushner Companies further developed into a real estate business, focusing on property development, management, debt, and acquisition. The company grew in profit and influence and now has stake in over 60 buildings in New York City, including apartments and offices.
There's so much positive momentum for where things are going here, and we really are very excited to be a part of it.
With this simple strategy of targeting less than desirable locations for real estate improvements, Jared told Multifamily Executive magazine in 2012 that the company's efforts resulted in a lot of construction and a lot of evictions. Jared later stepped down as CEO of Kushner Companies in 2017, but not before the family business was hit with a major scandal. Almost 20 years after Kushner Companies was established, Charles Kushner was arrested and pleaded guilty to illegal campaign contributions, witness tampering, and tax evasion. The scandal rocked the family in the mid-2000s, and a newly graduated Jared took over as the head of the family and the business. He quickly set his sights on Manhattan real estate and in 2007 made his first purchase as Kushner Company's CEO, 666 Fifth Avenue, for a record-breaking $1.8 billion, according to Forbes. Even after his father's arrest and guilty plea, Jared was not derailed. He told the outlet in 2016, "The whole thing taught me not to worry about the things you can't control. You can control how you react and can try to make things happen as you want them to. I focus on doing my best to ensure the outcomes. And when it doesn't go my way, I have to work harder the next time." In a surprising twist, Jared expanded his empire by purchasing The Observer, a New York City newspaper known for its ambitious reporting, often going after the city's financial, real estate, and advertising elite. But according to The New Yorker, the publication's editorial style shifted upon Kushner's acquisition. Kushner reportedly pressured editors into writing a so-called hit piece on Chris Christie, the U.S. attorney who filed criminal charges against Charles Kushner in 2004. Despite the changes in style and the pressure to adopt a new tone, Kushner all but saved the newspaper, considering it was reportedly on the brink of collapse. A former employee told Business Insider he bought absolutely positively a dying publication in The Observer. It was a cultural icon, but it was also within hours of becoming a cultural relic. So when you change something, everyone gets upset, and Jared changed it because what it was couldn't possibly continue to exist financially.
We come to the game with attitude. We're not afraid to say what we're thinking. We're not afraid to really chase down sensational stories.
Kushner stepped down as both publisher and owner of the outlet after accepting his position as senior advisor in the Donald Trump White House. Jared and Ivanka met in 2007, and it's no surprise that they immediately hit it off. They were both part of the Manhattan social scene, had family backgrounds in real estate, and had each banked quite a chunk of change. They were originally set up by a commercial real estate broker and another mutual friend who thought the pair could establish business dealings together. But it quickly became clear that their interest in each other was far more than strictly professional. Ivanka later told Vogue, "They very innocently set us up, thinking that our only interest in one another would be transactional. Whenever we see them, we're like, the best deal we ever made."
Thank you, Jared, and thank you, Ivanka, for marrying Jared and giving someone else a chance to win Bachelor this year.
The couple dated for 2 years before getting married in 2009 at the Trump National Golf Club in New Jersey. Ivanka converted to Judaism for her husband and his family, and the couple are now parents to 3 children, Arabella, Joseph, and Theodore. This one might come as a shock, but it's anything but fake news. Jared Kushner's father-in-law may be a Republican president, but Jared has historically supported Democratic politicians, following in the footsteps of his own father. Charles donated over $1 million to the Democratic Party, according to Forbes, and Jared previously gave $11,000 to Hillary Clinton and over $60,000 to Democratic committees. Jared even went so far as to intern for the late Robert Morgenthau, Manhattan's famed district attorney, while in graduate school. Morgenthau, who was in office from 1975 until 2009, was described by the New York Times as the, quote, bane of mobsters and crooked politicians. At the time of his death in 2019, at age 99, the Washington Post noted that Republicans had even stopped putting up a challenger to Morgenthau, considering him an unbeatable Democratic force. When asked about his political affiliation following the 2016 election, Jared simply told Forbes, "To be determined. There are some aspects of the Democratic Party that didn't speak to me, and there are some aspects of the Republican Party that didn't speak to me."
Jared had a very easy life. And then one day he said, I want to come down and I want to have peace in the Middle East.
Kushner's relationship with his father-in-law took a major turn in 2015, setting off a chain of events that would impact the election. In the fall of that year, Jared and his dad traveled to Springfield, Illinois to attend a Trump rally where Trump told the audience, "We don't have victories anymore. We're stupid. We have stupid people leading us." It was in that moment that Jared was inspired, politically, later describing the experience as a, quote, awakening. He explained to Forbes, "People really saw hope in his message." Jared secured a more senior role on the Trump team, and his passion for the campaign only continued to grow. Kushner apparently went from taking over Donald Trump's social media strategy to all but saving his campaign. Kushner's influence grew throughout the 2016 election, ultimately resulting in the win. Silicon Valley billionaire Peter Thiel told Forbes, "It's hard to overstate and hard to summarize Jared's role in the campaign. If Trump was the CEO, Jared was effectively the chief operating officer."
The American dream is dead. But if I get elected president, I will bring it back.
Kushner's focus on media strategy and campaign exposure resulted in support from the swing states that mattered most in the election. Kushner also became known on the campaign trail as the calm to Trump's controversial behavior and was able to move the election in the direction of victory. Kushner told the outlet, "I helped facilitate a lot of relationships that wouldn't have happened otherwise. People were being told in Washington that if they did any work for the Trump campaign, they would never be able to work in Republican politics again. I hired a great tax policy expert who joined under two conditions. We couldn't tell anybody he worked for the campaign, and he was going to charge us double." Ivanka Trump has been living life in the spotlight ever since she was a teen, when the media first began reporting on her high-profile dating life. She's been linked to actors including That 70s Show Topher Grace, Pierce Brosnan's son Sean, and even professional athlete and Tour de France winner Lance Armstrong, although she later told People magazine that they were just friends. Still, the relationship that never happened for Ivanka, more to the disappointment of Dad Donald Trump than her, was with then New England Patriots quarterback Tom Brady.
I'm here to be just with my wifey that I love so much. So.
For a reason only Donald Trump could ever know, it's a hypothetical romance that the president apparently had his heart set on. And even though Jared and Ivanka have been married since 2009 as well, the relationship that could have been is a bit of a sore spot for the former star of The Apprentice. While talking about his son-in-law in 2018, Donald Trump joked to the New York Times, "Jared hasn't been so good for me. I could have had Tom Brady as a son-in-law. Instead, I got Jared Kushner."
Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner lead a life of extravagant riches. The couple has garnered a large fortune from family ties and business ventures, and together, they have a jaw-dropping amount of money. Here's a look at the lavish life of Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner. Some of the perks of being tied to the White House include lush vacations, which often come as a cost to American taxpayers. Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner have indulged in various getaways with White House security in tow. Courts reported the couple sprung for a luxury resort vacation in the Dominican Republic in 2018. Even though their personal expenses were paid for from their own pockets, the outlet noted the rooms booked for the security detail came at the expense of taxpayers in the amount of $58,000. According to the Washington Post, Ivanka and Jared's travels resulted in $42,000 worth of federal money being funneled into Trump properties. Multi-million-dollar properties, private jets, and luxurious vacations are all within reach for Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner, with their combined net worth of over $1 billion. According to Celebrity Net Worth, Ivanka Trump is worth over $800 million on her own, which she has pocketed through various ventures with the Trump Organization and business ventures of her own. Before joining the ranks of her father's companies, Trump launched a fashion line and her own range of fine jewelry. While both Trump and Kushner come from a long line of wealth, Kushner's solo net worth is also a staggering $800 million, which stems from various real estate investments through the family business Kushner Companies. Ivanka Trump's luxurious lifestyle includes sporting high-end and over-the-top clothing. Trump's taste in clothes has inspired multiple fashion and jewelry lines over the years, but what has garnered media attention are her outfits from big-deal celebrity designers. According to the Daily Mail, Trump sported a $3,700 Oscar de la Renta ensemble to a summit in Buenos Aires in 2018. The outlet noted that Trump paired the designer gown with a $275 handbag that she plucked from her own fashion line. While her Oscar de la Renta outfit may be one of the more expensive outfits Trump has donned, she is no stranger to the finer things and has been spotted in various items of luxury clothing. One of her most extravagant ensembles was the pink tulle dress worn to her father's first state dinner, which reportedly cost Trump an astounding $12,888. The depth of the Trump-Kushner fortune extends to their 3 children, Arabella, Joseph, and Theodore, who, while young, still relish in their parents' riches. Not only do the kids live in plush mansions at a young age, they also get to enjoy lavish vacations and fly private jets with their well-to-do parents. According to the Daily Mail, the oldest of the Trump-Kushner children, Arabella, flew on private jets at just 4 years old. While all the children have been brought up in the spoils of their parents' wealth, the riches also includes paying the hefty tuition of a private school education for all 3 of the Trump-Kushner children. One of the perks of coming from a wealthy family means receiving exorbitant gifts, like Jared Kushner's $10 million graduation present from his father.
I was still a student in school, and I was doing a lot of different entrepreneurial activities.
The present was the New York Observer newspaper, which Charles Kushner bought for his son after he graduated from Harvard. The formerly weekly newspaper had a small circulation, but was beloved by New York City's elites before it ceased print publication and went online only. Charles reportedly outbid Robert De Niro's Tribeca Enterprises for the newspaper in order to give his son something special to announce his arrival to Manhattan. Jared received the gift at the young age of 25 in 2006, and it wasn't the first time his father invested in his future. Time also reported that Charles gave Harvard $2.5 million, a gift which likely didn't hurt matters when it came to getting his son accepted into the Ivy League school. Ivanka Trump is no stranger to controversy over her years under the scrutiny of the public eye, along with the shadow of her polarizing father. While the Trumps are known for their excess riches, various business ventures, and a luxurious lifestyle, Ivanka's choice to wear her own merchandise has received backlash on multiple occasions. The most notable came in the form of a bracelet Trump wore during an interview with her father on 60 Minutes. The mother of 3 wore a $10,800 diamond and gold bangle from her line, Ivanka Fine Jewelry. According to reports by the New York Post and other media outlets, the following day, journalists were sent a style alert asking them to share the bangle with their clients. The email stated, "Ivanka wearing her favorite bangle from the Metropolis collection over the weekend on 60 Minutes." Critics slammed Trump for being a walking advertisement and for the potential conflict of interest when it comes to using the presidency to market her own business affairs. It's no surprise that Jared Kushner and Ivanka Trump's wedding was an elaborate affair, complete with a 70-inch wedding cake and a designer wedding gown. The couple married in 2009, and Trump wore a custom-made Vera Wang gown. Speaking to brides about her Grace Kelly-inspired dress choice, Trump said, "I would say I am a traditional or classic bride. This style is translated in my dress and jewelry choice." The jewelry was, unsurprisingly, from her own line, reportedly valued in excess of $200,000. Not only does Ivanka Trump spend her fortune on opulent clothing and private jets, she has also been noted spending thousands of dollars on her haircut alone. The affluent business mogul is known to showcase her wealth, and often opts for the finer things in life, including a haircut from celebrity stylist at the Oscar Blondie salon in New York City. Trump reportedly frequents the salon often and has been known to spend $1,100 for a highlight and a trim. Before taking up residence in Washington, Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner owned a condo and a penthouse in the Trump Park Avenue Towers at 502 Park Avenue on the Upper East Side. The two-bedroom condo apartment was listed for $4.1 million in 2016. The couple put the condo on the market for rent starting at $15,000 when they moved to D.C. in 2016. But as Bloomberg noted, the asking price for the place dropped to $10,000 the following year. As Street Easy recalled, the couple scooped up the penthouse in 2011, and rumor has it that it cost a cool $16 million. Speaking about her opulent living penthouse in an interview with Elle Decor, Trump said, "I want a home where kids can live happily and my husband can put his feet on the table or lie on the sofa watching TV and not be worried. Nothing should be so precious that you can't use it."
If there's one thing that Jared Kushner is known for, it's that he's really good at making money. One prime example of how he does that is his online property broker company, Cadre. Jared co-founded this business venture with his brother, Joshua Kushner, back in 2014. He announced at the time, "Cadre is going to make us billionaires." And make money Cadre did, and lots of it. According to The Guardian, the company raked in a whopping $90 million in funds from foreign sources. Although it's hard to pinpoint exactly who wrote Jared those checks. The reason? The money was funneled through an offshore bank in the Cayman Islands that's operated by Goldman Sachs, which, The Guardian reported, provides a tax haven that guarantees corporate secrecy, though some suspect Saudi Arabian money is flowing into their coffers. While Jared stepped down from the board of Cadre while working in the White House, he still held on to a stake in Cadre during his tenure. Perhaps he'll work with them in a larger capacity now that he's no longer in D.C. In May of 2017, Ivanka Trump became a published author for the second time. The portfolio imprint of publishing juggernaut Penguin Random House published her book, Women Who Work: Rewriting the Rules for Success. According to Ivanka's description, Women Who Work will equip you with the best skills I've learned from some of the amazing people I've met on subjects such as identifying opportunities, shifting careers smoothly, negotiating, leading teams, starting companies, managing work and family, and helping change the system to make it better for women, now and in the future. Those of you who are familiar with the world of book publishing will be shocked to learn the size of the advance portfolio offered Ivanka, $787,500, as noted by Forbes. However, Ivanka only pocketed about $425,000 of that, according to the Washington Post, as she donated the rest to charity after her father won the 2016 election. As to whether or not Women Who Work was a wise investment for a portfolio, it's not likely. Forbes reported that the imprint lost out to the tune of $220,000 due to less than dazzling reviews and sales. In addition to Cadre, Jared Kushner also rakes in clams from other real estate companies. For example, in 2019, Jared pocketed between $1 million and $5 million from Burgle 715 Associates, as noted by The Guardian. At the time, Jared was a partial owner of the company. However, that money was not without controversy, and we're not talking about the fact that there's a huge gap in the range of estimated earnings. Rather, according to the New York Times, banking giant Deutsche Bank decided to do an internal investigation of Burgle 715 Associates. The reason? In 2013, the company allegedly sold a $1.5 million Park Avenue apartment to an employee at Deutsche Bank and two of their colleagues. Why is this worthy of a probe? Reportedly, this employee has worked as a banker with Donald Trump, Jared's father-in-law, for years. And apparently, selling high-end properties to people you bank with isn't something that's encouraged due to the potential for conflict of interest. If there's one thing that the Trump family is known for other than real estate, it's the hotel industry. Donald Trump owns and operates 11 luxury hotels in the United States, in locations such as New York City, Chicago, Las Vegas, Miami, and Washington, D.C., to name just a few. And internationally, there's also a smattering of Trump-owned hotels in Vancouver, Ireland, and Scotland. While Donald has made his fair share of profits from his hotels, so too has his daughter Ivanka. According to the New York Times, she earned $3.95 million from the D.C. hotel in 2017, 2018, and 2019. And yes, that was when Ivanka was a senior advisor in the White House. Although she stepped down from her role at the Trump Organization during that time, she didn't completely divest herself of the family business. And she's at least about $12 million richer for it. If you thought we were done talking about Jared Kushner's real estate earnings, you're very mistaken, as we're just getting started. In fact, according to the New York Times, he and his wife Ivanka had real estate investments worth a minimum of $204 million and a maximum of $783 million in 2019. The latter just $3 million less than the max value it had the year prior. Additionally, much of that income finds its way to Jared's wallet via his family real estate business, Kushner Companies. And while Jared was busy during those years working in the White House and had stepped back from his position at his business, Kushner Companies was busy buying and selling property, all the while making Jared a richer man. Long before Ivanka Trump was working on policy in the White House, and even before she was a businesswoman married to a millionaire mogul, Ivanka walked the runway as a model for elite model management, as noted by Vanity Fair.
But I model because I love to model, and it's something that I enjoy doing.
According to the magazine, Ivanka's father had a long-standing informal relationship with the agency, so they signed her to their celebrity division. So, for a few years in the late 90s, Ivanka was given an inside look at the fashion and modeling world. It's not surprising, then, that Ivanka later went on to launch a career in fashion, as it's an area she knows well. Starting in 2007, Ivanka debuted a jewelry collection. Then in 2011, she debuted her clothing line. And in 2016, the New York Times revealed that her line of shoes, handbags, and accessories brought in $75 million, of which she pocketed between $4 and $6 million in 2013. Furthermore, Ivanka reportedly received $5 million in 2017 from her fashion ventures. Ivanka shuttered her brand in 2018, but she could likely resurrect it at any time. Jared and his family businesses own several buildings throughout New York City that bring in tons of revenue. One especially notable building is the Puck Building in the Soho district of Manhattan. According to The Guardian, that dwelling alone brought in about $6 million in 2018, thanks all to the renters who live there. In Williamsburg, Brooklyn, Jared and the family business purchased a warehouse and turned it into luxury condos, as noted by The Guardian. In 2018, that converted building generated over $350,000 for Jared, which is paltry compared to other Kushner Companies' ventures, but significant money nonetheless. When Donald Trump defeated Hillary Clinton to win the presidential election in 2016 and subsequently moved into the White House in 2017, he brought his daughter and son-in-law onto his staff. Of course, none of Trump's kids received a salary for their work, but that doesn't mean they didn't make money in other ways that first year in D.C. Quite the opposite, in fact. For example, the eldest Trump daughter made quite a bit of money for pretty much doing nothing, as noted by the Washington Post. Specifically, Ivanka made a profit from stepping back from one of her work obligations. Ivanka was given a severance payment of more than $2 million from the Trump Organization, the job she left to work full-time at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. The ins and outs of big business, especially of one the size that Jared Kushner and his family operate, can be pretty difficult to comprehend. For example, Kushner Companies isn't just a singular entity. Rather, it has a separate business named Westminster Management, which has the task of managing Kushner properties and ensuring that everything runs smoothly. The company operates in several different states, including New Jersey, Tennessee, Virginia, New York, and Maryland. That's right, the Kushner empire isn't just a tri-state area exclusive, as they have a reach that extends all the way down the East Coast. Additionally, as Fortune magazine tells it, it. Having an expansive property empire in the eastern United States has paid off nicely for Jared and his family. Indeed, Westminster Management brought in $1.8 million for Jared in 2020, thanks to their handling of all the multifamily homes that lie within these locales. This profit may sound pretty significant, but Ivanka and Jared actually lost money in 2020. They lost a sizable percent of their income, bringing them down from up to $156 million in 2019 to up to $120 million in 2020.